Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss some MCQ question based on the Java operator. As we know, there are multiple kind of operator is available in Java. Like we have assignment operator, we have relational operator, we have logical operator, we have ternary operator, and many more we have. So we are going to discuss around 15 to 20 question based on the operator, and we'll start the question from the basic level, and then we'll go to the advanced level. So let's start. So first question I'm going to type here. The question will be, the question is here. You can see the question on my notepad. So the first question is like we have one simple class. The class name is the operator example, and then we have the main method, and we have some couple of variable here like x, y, and we are doing the unary operator. I mean to say we are doing the post increment here for y x plus plus y plus plus, and then I want to know what can be the output for x. So here we have couple of options like here you can see the option we have 12, 10, 11 compile time error or runtime error. So what do you think what can be the output for this? So we have couple of options, okay, 10, 12, 11 compile time error and runtime error. So the answer for this question, the answer of this question, it will give you the compile time error. This is going to give you the compile time error. So answer for this question, see, D is the right option for this. D is the right option. It will give you the compile time error. Now the question is why this program will give the compile time error. There is no syntax error in this program. Okay. This is only going to give the compile time error because of the line number 14. So because of this line number 14, you are going to get it. It will give you the compile time error. Why? Because this operator, the increment or pre-increment or post-increment or pre-decrement or post-decrement only applicable on variable. This is not applicable on constant. So somehow here I am trying to increase the value of this constant 10 plus plus, and this is invalid. And because of this, you are going to get the compile time error. And because of that, the answers option D is the right answer. Any question? If no, we'll move to the next question. So I'm going to write here the question number 2. So the question number 2 here we have, you can see here now. So question number 2 is like we have one simple class again. The class name is the operator example 2, and then we have one main method, and inside this we have again some couple of variable like x and y. And here again you can see like we are doing some kind of operation. We are doing the increment operator like pre-increment operator, then we are doing the post decrement, then pre-increment. Here I want to know what can be the output for x and y. So we have some couple of operation here. I'm trying to increase the value of x, trying to decrease the value of x, and so on. And I want to know what can be the output for x and y. So what do you think? What can be the output? So here the option A is the right option for this. So right option out of this is A. So option A is the right answer. Okay. Now the question is why answer A is the right answer. Okay. So you can see here we have some couple of operation. Okay. So the operation will be start from left. So you can see here what operation we have. So we have plus plus x. So plus plus x means this is the pre-increment, and in case of pre-increment, we know that the value of x will get increased. So, and in the step 1, the value of x somehow it will be 4. So let me write here, let me write the step. So step 1, I'm saying x plus plus, and because of that it will be plus, it will be 4, okay, plus x into 5, right? So this we have, this is the first operation I'm going to do, and this is somehow equivalent to, this is somehow it will become now 4 in multiply 5. And if I will do 4 multiply 5, somehow we are going to get the output as a 20. Now we have the divide operation. Okay, so in step 2, let's see what will be the output here. So in step 2, now 20 by x minus minus. So you can see here, this is the post decrement, and in case of post decrement, the value will not get decreased immediately. So the value of still the x value, was, what was the x value? 4. So somehow the x value will be 4 here, and then once I will divide. So somehow as of now till step 2, the y value is equal to 5. The y value till equal to 5. Now you can see, and the x value here after step 2, the x value will become from, it was 4, now it will become 3. since this is the post decrement, first it first they will perform some operation and then the value will get decreased. So what was the value before step 2? So the value of x before step 2 was 5. Sorry, it was 4. So I divide the 20 by 4, and after divide, the x value is going to decrease, and the new value of x is 3, and the y value become the new value of y becomes 5. Now after this operation, we have the third operation, and then again you can see here plus sign is there, plus sign minus x. So in step 3, what we are going to do here? So you can see here. So what is the final value here? Final value of was 5. So I'm saying 5, okay, minus x. So you can see here, this is a pre-decrement, and in case of pre-decrement, first we have to decrease the value. So what was the x value? X value was 3. The x value was 3. Now we have to decrease by how much? We have to decrease by 1. So now if I decrease the value of x by 1, so the x value will become 2. And since x value will become 2, and here you can see we have the plus sign. So this is not the minus sign, we have the plus sign. So y value will become, you can see here, y value will become 7. Y value will become 7. And what is the x value here? I'm adding this 2 is the value of x. So x value is 2. So the final outcome or the right option is option A, x value is equal to 2 and y value is 7. So this is the right answer for this. If you have any question, just let me know. I will explain you again. So here we have two kind of operation like pre-increment and pre-decrement and post-decrement, both we had. Okay. So in case of pre-increment or pre-decrement, first we have to increase the value or we have to decrease the value, and then we will do the operation. But opposite of that, in case of post, first we have to do some operation and then we have to increase or decrease the value. So what kind of operator was this? This is the this is a pre-increment. In case of pre-increment, first I increase the value. So in case of step 1, once I increase the value, the x value was, what was the initial value of x? The initial value of x was 3. Okay. And once I'm coming to perform this operation plus x, it means that the x value will become now 4. And 4 multiplied 5, somehow the y value will equivalent to 50. So this 20 was the x or y, right? This was not the value of x, because you can see I am writing y equal to this one. So somehow this y value after step 1, it was become the 20, and x value become the 4. And in step 2, once you are coming 20 by x minus minus, so x minus minus, this is post decrement. So in post decrement, first we have to perform the operation, and then we have to decrease the value. So what was the x value? X value was 4. So if I will divide the 20 by 4, somehow the y value will become now 5. Y value will become now 5. And what will the x value? So now after division, the x value should be decreased by 1. So now the x value become 3. So y value become 5 and x value become 3. And in the next step, again, the y value was 5. The y value was 5. And in that, we have the plus sign. And after plus sign, we have minus x. So somehow this is again post decrement. Oh, sorry. This is a pre-decrement. Pre-decrement. In case of pre-decrement, we have to decrease the value first, and then we have to perform the operation. So what was the x value? X value was 3. Now we have to decrease the value. Decrease the value by 1. So 3 minus 1, the x value become 2. And the y value, 5 plus 2, that will be the 7. So x is 2 and y is 7. That is the right answer. Okay. Now coming to the question number 3. So the question number 3 I have here. So you can see this is again one class we have, and then main method, and then we have the x. Here you can see the data type for the x is the long, the y data type is int, and then I'm doing y is equal to y multiply x, and I'm trying to print the value of y. Now you have to tell me what can be the output. What can be which one is the right option from here? It will print 50, 5, 15, or compile time error or runtime error. So suppose I'm going to give you one more option here. This is the runtime error. So what do you think? What can be the output here? What can be the output? So here Again, this here, if I will go with option, so option D is the right answer for this. Why I'm saying this is the compile time error. So you can see here, you can see the y value is equal. You can see we have the two different data type here. First, we have the two different data type here. The one x is the type of long, but y is the type of integer. We have x is the type of long, and we have the y is the type of integer. And somehow we are trying to perform some operation. We are trying to perform some operation. I'm trying to multiply y into x, and somehow I'm trying to store the value of this multiplication inside the y. But here you can see that we know that the long has a large range, okay, and we cannot, and integer cannot hold the long value. Without typecasting, integer cannot hold the long value. But somehow I'm trying to do some multiplication. Once you will do the multiplication, it will be the value will become a long data type. The output of this one, the output will become 50, but that will be the long data type. The data type after multiplication, it will get converted into the long. It will not be the integer, because here if we multiply this long and int, the output will be the long. If we multiply two different data types, so the higher range, the output will be always considered as a higher range data type. The output will become convert into their higher range data type. So here int and long has the higher range compared than int, and int cannot hold the value of the long without typecasting. But here what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do the multiplication of int and long. That is somehow fine, but this one should be the type of long again. If y will be the type of long, will not get any issue, or any variable which will write here that will be the type of long, then there will be no issue. But since the type of y, the data type for y is int, and since this is the int cannot hold the value of the long. Since int cannot hold the value of the long, because of that reason, we are going to get the compile time error. So if you want to get 50, what you can do, you can declare one more variable, that is the long, and long you can suppose you can write a, and then if you try to print the value of a, it will become 50. It will become 50 without any problem. But our question was y is equal to y multiply x, and somehow the data type for y was int. Since the data type for y was int, if we multiply int and long, the final outcome will be the type of long itself, not the int. And because of that reason, we are going to get the compile time error here. Any question? If no, let's move to the next question. That is the question number 4. So this question number 3 and question number 4 are somehow same. Okay. So you can see here, I was trying to multiply y is equal to y into x. Now again, I am doing the same operation, but in a different way. I am doing the same operation, but in a different way. Now tell me what can be the output. Here we have the same option even, okay, and the program is also somehow similar, okay, but the way of the operation which I am doing here, that is little bit different. So what do you think? We will get the same output, like the option D will be the right option, or it will print 55, 15. What can be the right output from here? So the right output from here, we can say that the right option from here, that is the option A. It will print the 50. 5 multiplied 10, that is the 50. Now the question is why it will give you the 50. So here you can see this is the compound operator. Okay. This what I am doing here. This is the compound operator. Here I'm using the compound operator for the multiplication. Here I'm using compound operator for multiplication. So once you are doing the compound operator for the multiplication, what they will do, they will first typecast the x, they will first typecast the y into the long. Okay. First, they will try to typecast the y into the long. Okay. First, they will try to typecast the y into the long, and then they will try to multiply. So internally, what is going to happen here? Once you will do the compound operator for the multiplication or addition, and if you have two different data types, so internally what they will do, what JVM will do, they will convert the lower range data type to the higher range data type. I mean to say this internally, this y will get converted into the long data type. this y will get converted into the long data type, and then if we'll write y is equal to y into x, there will be no problem. We'll get the output without any problem, and the output will become the 50 here. The output will become the 50 here. So in the previous question and here, the difference is how we are performing the operation. If you are doing the operation using the single operand, okay, single operator, that is a multiplication operator, then we will get the compile time error if we have two different data type. But here, even you have two different data type, but if you are doing the compound operator, if you are using the compound operator, so in case of compound operator, what they are going to do first, they are trying to typecast. They will typecast this y into the long. So now this y will become the long data type, and then y into x. So somehow long multiply long, the final outcome will be the long data type itself. And because of that reason, there will be no compile time error, there is no runtime error, and we'll get our output without any problem. There will be no problem with the output. There is no compile time error or no runtime error. Okay. Now moving to the question number 5. So this is the question number 5. You can see here we have similar data type, like x is the also type of long and y is also type of long. Now here I want to know what can be the value of x and what can be the value of y. This is a very easy question. Anyone can tell the answer. So option A, I have x is equal to 5, y is equal to 5. Option B, x is equal to 5, y is equal to 3. The option C, x is equal to 3, y is equal to 5. Option D, x value also 3 and y value also 3. And then the final option E, that is a compile time error. So here the final outcome or the right answer from this option, the option D is the right answer for this. Option D is the right answer for this. Option D is the right answer. Okay. Option D is the right answer. Now why I'm saying option D? So you can see here, what is the initial value of x? Initial value of x is 5. Now what I'm trying to do here? So somehow this is somehow the x value, the new x value will become 3. So first initial value was 5, but now I'm assigning the new value inside the x, and the x value will become 3. So somehow this entire bracket is going to replace with the x final value, and that was 3. And because of that reason, x and y both value are becomes 3 and 3, and that is the reason the output, the option D is the right option from here. Option D is the right option, because what operation we are doing, somehow the x value will be equal to 3, and somehow at runtime the x is equal to 3, the entire bracket will get replaced with the original value, and that will be 3 itself. That will be 3 itself. And because of that reason, we are going to get the output x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 3. Okay. Any question? If no, let me move to the next question. The question number 6. This line I have to copy from it, cut from here, and we have to paste it in the previous example. So this I have to paste here. Okay. So this is the solution for this. Now question number 6. Let's see what is the question number 6. So question number 6 we have here. We can write the question number 6. You can see here the question number 6. Again, we have one class, we have one main method, and then I'm writing final int x is equal to 10, and then I'm writing x plus plus. Now here you have to tell me the exact output for this. So we have a couple of options here. Again, the option A 10, option B 11, the C compile time error at line 3, and the option D compile time error at line 4. So what do you think? What can be the output for this? Which one is the right option from out of this 4? The option A, the option B, option C, or option D? Will we get a compile time error at line number 3? Will get the compile time error at line number 4, or it will print 10, or it will print 11? So the final outcome of this, it will give you the compile time error at line number 4. So option D is the right answer for this. Option D is the right answer for this. Why I am saying, you can see just now I explained in the first question, this increment operator only applicable on variable, not on constant. Might you can say, sir, here I can see this is the x only, and x is not a constant, x is a variable. But I'm saying, tell me that data type for x. X is the integer type, and what you can see here, I'm using the final. So final means this value of x is not going to change. This value of x is not going to change. It means that at runtime, somehow this x will get replaced by the 10 itself. And 10 plus plus is again the invalid scenario, or this is the invalid in Java. And because of that reason, we are going to get the compile time error at line number 4. If this will not be the final, if x will not be the final, then we will get the output as a 11 or output as a 10. That is a need, that is the part of discussion. Okay. But since this is x is the final, and if x is the final, then then this will treat as a constant. I mean to say, you cannot reassign any other value inside the x. If you try to write like this, x is equal to something 7 or 8, or you want to assign any new value in the x, you will get the compile time error here itself. So if any variable is a final, you cannot reassign you cannot reassign the value. You cannot reinitialize that. If you will try to reassign any new value, you will get the compile time error there. So because of this final, since it was final, because of the final only, somehow at runtime, this x will get replaced with their original value, and somehow the original value is 10. So 10 plus plus is the invalid scenario. I hope you are getting my point. So option D is the right answer here. Now question number 7. So let's see what is the question number 7 here. So we have the class, again we have variable int x, okay, and then we have the boolean variable, the y is the type of boolean, and since we have the type of boolean, okay, then I'm doing the OR operator here. You can see this is the OR operator. So I'm checking some condition, x is greater than 6, or y x plus plus x is less than 7. If yes, I want to print the value of x, and I want to print the value of y. So you can see here I'm writing x value is equal to 6 and y value is equal to 6, or x value is equal to 6, y is equal to false. So here we have the couple of options. You have to tell me the right answer from this. So the right answer for this, okay, so we have to decide like what will the x value. X value will become 6 or it will become 7, because here you can see we have the plus plus x, and if this condition will be executed, then somehow the x becomes 7. But let me see this condition is going to execute or not. So see here, what is the x value? X value is equal to 6. So tell me this condition is true or false. X is greater than equal to 6. So somehow the x value is equal to 6, and 6 is not greater than 6, but 6 is equal to 6. And since 6 is equal to 6, somehow this condition is going to return you the true value. If this will return the true value, then the OR part is not going to check by the compiler. Why? As per rule from the OR operator, we know that if any of the input will be true, then the final outcome will be true. And in that case, no need to check the other part. So here I'm checking one input value. I'm checking the final outcome of this, and this is become true. Now, either it will become true or false, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Somehow my condition will be executed. So here, if this part is true, Java will ignore the second part. Java will ignore the second part. But if this condition is false, then Java will come and check this condition. In our case, since this condition is true, somehow this will skip by the JVM. This will not get considered. They will not go and read this line. So in that case, plus plus x will never execute. If plus plus x will never execute, it means that the x value will become 6 itself. It is the value of x is not going to change. Why? Because this plus plus x is never going to execute. And why this is not going to execute? Because this condition is true. If this condition is true, in case of OR condition, the second part will never execute. But yeah, if this condition will be false, then then compiler will check the second part as well. Then the compiler will check the second part as well. So here, since this condition is true here itself, somehow this will get skipped by the compiler, and if it will get skipped, somehow the x value is not going to increase. So one point is clear as of now. The one point is very clear now. The x value is not going to change. So somehow the x value will be 6. So somehow we can eliminate the wrong output, which is x is equal to 7 and 7. So somehow C and D is not the right answer. Now we have the y value is equal to 6, y value is equal to false, or y value is equal to true. So what do you think? Y is greater than equal to 6. The condition is true or false? The condition is true. And if the condition is true, then option E is the right option. Then option E is the right option from here. So x value will become 6 and y value will become 2. That is the right answer. So answer we can say answer E is the right answer. X becomes 6 and y become 2. Now coming to the next question, the question number 8. Okay, here you can see we have again two different data types, but there is a constant, we don't have the variable. One is the integer, another is the double. One is the integer, another is the double. Now I am checking and I want to know what can be the value of the t. It will be the true, false, 5.0 or compile time error. What do you think? So here you can see we are using the we are trying to compare two primitive data types. So here somehow I am trying to compare two values. Okay, and if you see here, somehow one is the integer, another is the double. So somehow here one is the integer. The first part, this is the type of integer, but this is the type of double. So while comparing, if you are trying to compare these two, what JVM will do internally, they will do the typecasting. They will do the typecasting. So this become again this 5 become 5.00 itself. Okay. So if this 5 becomes 5.00 itself, somehow this condition is going to true. And if this condition will be true, somehow the t in the t we are going to assign the true value. And because of that, if I know what can be the output for t, what will be the output for t? So t value will become true. It is not 5.0 or false or compile time error. There is no problem with the program. The program will run and compile absolutely fine without any problem. So the final outcome here will be the true. So option B is the right option. Answer B is the right option here. Now, I want to go for the question number 9. Okay, so today I will discuss total 10 questions, and tomorrow again I will try to discuss 10 more questions. So tomorrow the question which I will discuss, that will be little tough question, or that will be little advanced kind of question. Okay, but this all which I am discussing today, this all are the basic questions. Okay, so now come to this program and tell me what can be the output. So we have two variable, we have y and we have z. Even we have three variable, not two variable. We have exactly three variable, x, y, and z. So x and y is the type of integer. Even sorry, y and z is the type of integer. Even x is the type of integer, but x is final. And if x is final, I'm checking y is less than 10. If yes, see here we are using the ternary operator. This is the nothing but the ternary operator example. Somehow this is the example of the ternary operator. So somehow I'm trying to use the ternary operator, and if I'm using the ternary operator, I want to know what can be the output for this. Okay. So if I'm asking the output will become the output here. You can see. Let me check. So what I'm saying here? So y less than 10. So if this condition will be true, okay. If this condition will be true, y plus plus will execute, z plus plus will never be executed. So what is the y value? Y value was 1. Now y plus plus. Because of this y plus plus, what can be the y value? So the y value will become 2. So which we have two options. Okay, so I want to print the value of y. Yeah. So we have two options in which I can see the y value is going to print 2. But now I want to know about z value. So what was the z value? Z value was 1. So here you can see this, since this is not going to execute, this is not going to execute somehow. Since this is not going to execute, the y value will not become 2. So the option B is the right option. The x value will be, sorry, y value will become 2, and z value, since the z value is not going to increase, because this part will never execute. Since this part is never execute, the z value is not going to execute, and if it will not be execute, the z will be with the original value, and the original value of z was 1. So the final outcome will be the 2, 1. The final outcome here 2, 1. Why? Again, I'm explaining you the y value was 1. Okay, and I'm checking y less than 10. The condition is true. If condition is true, this statement or this part will be execute y plus plus. So y value was 1. Now I'm doing plus plus 1. So the y become 2. but this part is not going to execute. This is like true and false. If this condition will be true, this part will be execute. But if this condition is false, then this else part will be execute. Somehow this is a kind of true and false. So in that, since this is a kind of true and false, so true, like it is a kind of if and else, okay? If and else, so the else part is not going to execute, and because of that reason, I can say that the y value will become 2, but z value will become 1 only. Now the last question for today. So what is the last question for today? Okay, so let me write that as well. Okay, so write, okay, yeah, so write last question for today. Okay, so last question you can see here. Again, I have x is equal to 5, okay, and then I'm saying x is equal to 2, then question mark x less than 4, question mark 10, colon 8, colon 7. So this is nothing but this is again ternary operator, but this is a nested ternary operator, like how we have the nested if else, how we have the nested for loop, how we have the nested while loop. Same as this is nothing but the nested ternary operator. This is an example of nested of the ternary operator. So see here, the uh, concentrate here, what can be the output of x we need to know. Okay, so see here, if x is greater than 2, what is the x value? The x value is 5. If this is greater than 2, if this is greater than 2, which are here they are asking, is x is greater than 2? If x is greater than 2, then this part is going to execute. Now they're saying what is the x is less than 4, x is less than 4, condition false. If condition true, if this condition will be also true, then 10 will be executed. But since this condition is false, 10 will not be executed, the 8 will be executed from here. So this 7 is the part of this ternary operator, this 7 is the part of this ternary operator, and this 8 is the part of this ternary operator. So from here to here, one program. This is the one ternary operator. And then from here to here, some of these are another ternary operator. So the in between what we are writing, this is the nested ternary operator. This is the part of the nested ternary operator. So here the first condition was true, and because since this condition was true, then this part is going to execute. And here I'm checking x value is less than 4. No, x value is not less than 4. So condition is false. If condition is false, this part will not execute. This highlighted part will not execute. It will come to the else part, and the output will become 8. So here the final outcome, the final outcome of this question is, or the final, the right answer from this option, the option D, that is the 8. So it is the right answer. So this was all about the operator. Even in the next class, we'll see some advanced level of question based on the operator itself. So okay, we'll see you in the next class. Bye bye for today.